Okay, guys, we are back here for Behind Closed Doors. We are officially back June 8th.
We're back.
We're back. Just two guys. We didn't want to have a guest on today for a multitude of reasons. But first and foremost.
Multitude. That's a big word for you.
Yeah, it was a huge word. I Googled it beforehand. Just kidding. To start it off, before we get into any real serious topics, you look like a divorced dad that hasn't slept in weeks. What's going on with you?
Well, I've been sleeping, so.
It almost looks like a toupee on your head.
Yeah, dude, this hair is so bad. I tried actually, as my Zoom camera first started coming up, I tried putting water in my hair because I realized how bad it looked because it's all over the place. So it's like kind of half wet in some weird places. It looks bad, dude. It's really
rough.
bad.
Are you thinking about getting a haircut? I mean, hair salons are open. When I got my hair cut, great experience. Like, what are you doing? You're not broke. You have the time. You don't like hardly ever work. What's the problem here?
I was hoping that if I got past this like awkward shitty stage of my hair, that I could do like it could be good. I think this is like the weird in between time. Because I want to do this look where you kind of like have it back a little bit.
You have a long ways to go before you can pull it back, I feel like.
Yeah, I just don't know if I wait it out. I was also thinking like this is probably the last time in my life where I can get my hair this long. Like I don't know.
What's your receding hairline like? Is that an issue for you?
It's not bad in terms of receding, but I'm just being like as an older professional guy, you can't just have long hair, I think.
You literally own your own company. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Obviously I can't because I'm getting shit on left and right for having this haircut.
You know what? Maybe just shave it all off.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we'll see. I'll get a haircut. I should get a haircut. For the past month, I've been asking my girlfriend every day. I was like, do you think I should get a haircut? Like wanting her to say no. And every day she's like, yes, go get a fucking haircut. I was like, not yet.
And you have yet to listen to her. Maybe one day you will. I don't know. Okay, let's hop into some serious things. One of the biggest things is why we took a break last week with everything happening, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement, the incident with George Floyd. We didn't feel like last week was our time to really speak yet. We really wanted to take 2 steps back, listen, partake, and really take it all in before we came back, especially on the Behind Closed Doors. I think the most obvious thing, at least to us two and those around us, is we're just 2 white dudes trying to talk on Black Lives Matter, which is a pretty tough topic for us to really voice on. So I think that was a great time for us to take 2 steps back and really learn. Do you have any big takeaways from this week?
Yeah, I mean, huge takeaways. Like one, it's amazing to see how much everyone's starting to rally around a good cause. Like I really haven't met anyone who's opposed the cause besides the crazy people in Florida. But pretty much everyone I know that I consider my friend is for the cause, which is awesome. Yeah. It was interesting as you talked about like kind of why we went silent last week, or even I remember when I wrote a newsletter for Monday talking about like kind of Black Lives Matter to my voice, all very positive for the cause. I'm 100% all in on it. And Dee told me not to send it. And I was just like, why? And I mean, he didn't really say that, but he's just like, you're white. Like, just take a breath, like relax.
Right.
Like, and it's kind of weird to think like, it's weird to think like your voice doesn't fully matter on an opinion, but it's like, it's not my time to go and be like, here's what I think. It's not about me. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than us. That's why we kind of took a break and just kind of let the dust settle.
And I think that's a huge issue with a lot of white people right away is just like reactionary. They like see what can happen.
About them.
Right. And a lot of them, so many of them make it about them, but so many of them just want to react right away without thinking.
Yeah. And that's what, I mean, it was also not that I think I would have said anything bad, but like you could see someone like Drew Brees who reacted right away and like fully criticized for it. Like, I don't think Drew Brees is a racist person per se. Right. But I think he wasn't calculated with what he was saying. He didn't fully understand the movement, and he talked about it and the flag before fully understanding the movement, and he got destroyed for it. Like, you really need to understand the movement and understand what you're saying, and understand what's going on before you should talk.
And I think that's been one of the biggest examples throughout the week and throughout this time is that we've seen is there's been extremes on both sides, but I think that's been the coolest thing to see, is to have somebody who did fuck up, but then was able to come back and speak with his teammates, apologize, and then make a real effort towards it. And that's what this is all about. It's like, even if you're on the right side of this, great. If learning it and changing your opinion, if that's what you go through, great. But it's just like not alienating people and pushing people away, giving them the right time, and still accepting them back once they've either learned or done anything of that nature.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I think people should be comfortable knowing that, like, if you're not 100%, if you don't fully get it right now, it's okay to say that. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's
Right.
like, I don't think anyone, I personally have probably a skewed perception of people, but I don't think anyone's inherently bad. I think they're just miseducated.
Right.
So even when I was in Florida and, people in Florida were saying disgusting things, like the TV would be on and you'd be in a public spot and people would be like, what are these animals doing? This is disgusting. They're just burning down their own city. Like, just saying really messed up things. And like, I don't think they're bad people. I think that's how they're truly educated, and they're just miseducated, and there's more education to be made. And that's why this movement's so great, because we just need to keep teaching and educating.
Yeah. And one of the biggest ones I think is a great source for it is it's called The 13th on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's a documentary about all the systemic oppression that Black people have faced, and it really breaks it down. So you did a newsletter today to kind of tie these two in, crack versus coke.
Yeah.
That was a big topic in the documentary too. What is it, in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, 80s.
80s, when that whole reform came out for crack and coke and cracking down on it, and the influx of prisoners and things of that nature. So give us some insight on what the newsletter was about and how that ties in.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, crack, without stereotyping, crack is predominantly used by African Americans in urban areas or lower income areas, and coke is primarily, I could stereotype here because it's by white people, rich white people like me.
But they're the same thing.
Same drug.
Same drug.
Pretty much. So I actually posted this on LinkedIn, and I got hundreds of comments on there, and a bunch of people would be like, you haven't, like, how can you talk about them being the same drug unless you've tried both crack and coke? And all these like crackheads in the comments just being
really makes me say the question.
I was just like, I can't confirm they're the same thing, but from what I've researched, they are the same thing. But yeah, pretty much crack has 100 times the jail time as coke. Mm-hmm. So if you're caught with 5 grams of crack, the minimum sentence, no matter what, is 5 years in prison if you have 5 grams of crack. If you have 500 grams of coke, the minimum sentence is 5 years. So it's just like, laws were made to put African Americans in jail, and like the number of African Americans that have been in jail, like over the years since the 80s, since these laws put in place, went from like into the hundreds of thousands into the millions. Like, jail numbers went through the roof. And it's just like, it talks even deeper about how jails are funded by, jails are private organizations.
Yes. And they make a lot of fucking money.
A lot of money. So like, they're incentivized to get people in jail. And it's just like, I mean, deep down, America is racist.
Yeah.
People are racist.
Yeah.
Like,
but in such deep ways that it's hard to just be like, just to point the finger. Yeah.
And I mean, it's normal in human nature to make snap judgments. Like, that's just human nature.
Right.
It's survival. You make a snap decision and snap judgment on something or someone to see if it's safe or not. Like, that's how humans have been trained psychologically over the years. And it's impossible to judge people on different things. Like, when you see me, like, someone will judge me for I looking like a divorced dad. Someone's going to judge you for being a redhead.
Right.
Like, even no matter how hard we tried, that's going to affect someone's opinion of you.
Right.
If you're extremely attractive or you're extremely unattractive, you're going to get judged on that. Right. Like, if you were extremely overweight or extremely in shape, like, people are going to be like, oh yeah, the guy who's in shape, or the fat dude. Like, that's just how humans operate. But it's messed up when it happens at a systemic level especially with things that people can't change about them.
Right.
And we can't have that kind of intolerance towards people. Like, 1 in 3 African-American if you take a white guy and a black guy born in the same year, 2001, 1 out of 3 black guys are going to go to prison in their lifetime, which is insane. A third of them. 1 out of 18 white guys are going to prison. So it's like, it's not like black guys are born 6 times more likely to commit a crime than white guys. Like, we're all born exactly the same.
Right.
It's the systematic racism. Like, unless you fundamentally believe that black people and white people are born with different brains and born differently, then you're on a full different spectrum. I can't even like communicate to you.
Yeah, you
don't even understand anything.
Learn
if you're a normal human, you probably believe that black guys and white guys, when they're born as babies, are just as impressionable, just as, good and the same. So why are 6 times more African Americans going to jail than white guys? Like, that is systemic racism, and there's no explanation for that.
Well, for the numbers, well, in some ways there are numbers, and that's kind of like what the 13th was talking about, is how they got to that point of systemic oppression through the lower income housing areas, through more policed areas, things of that nature where they're, living at far less income, not getting loans, not getting any of the financial support that a lot of the other white people were getting in other races, and then we're heavily policed. And then again, like the crack versus coke is the second that you have crack on you, you get sentenced for a far longer time than just coke, where it's generally black versus white is who has it.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And like, this past couple of weeks have been great because it's brought things to conscious for a lot of people that would normally not be conscious. For example, even like I've been doing my whole Florida man shtick. So even when I got back to LA, like I've been walking around mostly without shoes or without a shirt because that's what you do in Florida. And
Florida people are weird, man.
Yeah, so I'm at my girlfriend's apartment in West Hollywood, right where all the riots are going on.
Yep.
And I go to like take out the trash, and I'm not wearing shoes or a shirt, and I lock myself out, and I realize I have to climb back into my girlfriend's apartment, like jump a fence and climb in. So I'm like, this is a really nice apartment building, like a 1-bedroom apartment. It's like $3,500 a month, and I'm climbing this fence with like no shoes, like no shirt, and just jumping this fence and breaking into this apartment. And this white lady sees me, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was just like, "I live here, I promise." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Right. But like, if I was black, like she would have called the cops.
Right.
Like a black dude without a shirt, without shoes, kind of breaking into an apartment. Even if it was so casual for me to be like, I live here. And she's like, "Oh, good." But like, that's insane. That like, I didn't even think twice about it. But then I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, if I was black right now, like, she would not have just walked away fine.
Yeah. That could have been so different. And that's what we're working so much towards. And I had this thought yesterday while we were recording for group chat, is the pandemic and then back to back with this has, I think, really opened up eyes. Not only like in the business world, it felt like with Corona, all these companies got exposed and really brought to light about, whether it's the shitty financials, whether it's shitty setup of their entire company. But we started to see and expose a lot of these. And then we just had even more of that now with the protests happening and the Black Lives Matter movement. The last 3 months have been incredibly eye-opening.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest takeaway from this is you can't suck. So whether you're a company or whether you're a person, and this happened also with the Me Too movement with all these people that got away with shit forever. It's like in the future, no matter, even if you get away with shit right now, it's going to come back to haunt you. So just like, don't be a shitty person.
Literally.
Like, you can't be a shitty person. It's going to hurt you, whether you're a company or a person, whether you're racist, whether you're, doing creepy shit with girls, whether you're whatever it is, like, just don't suck.
Right. Agreed. A huge thing was, so I actually hit the big protest yesterday, and it was in Hollywood. We were on Vine and something else, but it was YG was leading it.
Yep.
Saw the videos of the drone shots. Incredible. It was really cool to be there, really cool to be a part of it. I think it was 20,000 plus they reported.
Yeah, awesome.
Showed up. I mean, we were shoulder to shoulder. Everybody was surprisingly wearing masks. I would say 99% of people, every once in a while, I'd look around and take mine off and be like, is everybody wearing theirs? And the majority of people were.
That's good to know. But you're still standing within 6 feet.
Right. You were still close. I was still hearing people cough, and I was like a little bit weirded out by it, but like not that bad. One thing though, I saw 2 drones crash.
No way. Into each other?
So during the entire protest, so I had my drone on me and I was taking photos throughout it, and I was like debating on flying my drone because the huge crowds, blah, blah. I was like, this would be an incredible shot. But first of all, way up, you have about 5 helicopters at a time. We're rotating around the crowds. That can fuck with your interference. So I was like kind of sketch. You look a little bit lower, there's probably 5 to 6 drones at a time just buzzing over people's heads.
Damn.
So I'm like, do I put mine up there? Do I not? I'm like questioning as we walk, can we get a stopping point? At one point, this drone comes zooming in from the side, doesn't see this building, smacks the building, falls straight down to the next roof, and just like explodes pretty much. Not like true explosion, but like parts go everywhere. And everyone was just like, we were kneeling at that point. So everybody saw it happen. It was kind of like silent almost. And then the other one fell straight from the sky.
Just dropped.
Watching it, and it just stopped working and dropped.
Damn.
So then I didn't fly my drone. But the drone footage that did make it out looked really, really cool.
Yeah, just take someone else's footage.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what we did for the page this morning. But like, I think that was really cool. It was amazing to
awesome.
see the photos and the images.
The images are crazy and so powerful. And I'm actually glad everyone's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that. In Florida, man, no one had masks. I didn't see one mask in 3 weeks.
Well, it's required to be out in public right now, isn't it?
I guess so. It's required in my apartment building, I guess. My girlfriend's apartment. I was there and, you know, I wasn't wearing a mask. I was going to get in the elevator. I was waiting for the elevator because we've been moving a lot of stuff. So I'm carrying all this heavy stuff. I'm wearing a shirt this time. And I'm carrying all this heavy stuff. I'm waiting for the elevator. The elevator doors open. It's a couple in like their early 30s, and I'm not wearing a mask. And the man was like, looks at me. He's like, "Sorry, we're doing a mask thing. I can't get in the elevator." And then the woman goes, she goes, "Yeah, you know, I've been feeling a little sick too and don't want you getting affected. Take the next elevator."
Coughed?
Yeah. And I was just like,
Why did you
I obviously waited for, like, I waited for the next elevator because I just didn't want to deal with him at all. But I was just like, the way she was just, it was so funny. She's like, "Yeah, I've been feeling a little sick too. So I don't want to get you infected." And I was just like, that's such a weird thing. I was really weirded out by that.
People are strange.
They take it so seriously. But those same people, I saw them later going to the protest, standing shoulder by shoulder with everyone. And I was like, yo, like.
Who are you trying to really be here?
Exactly. Double standard.
Very questionable. You go ahead and check out Clean Monster. They are now live on Amazon. So Jeff Bezos, the man, the myth, the legend, is now partnering up with D and Clean Monster for all the hand sanitizing stuff that you need. It's great smelling. Lavender peppermint. Literally is the only thing I use now. It smells great. Sanitizes. Does everything you need it to do. So head over to Amazon. It's on our story right now. We'll put a link on our profile for it. Really great. I think they come in packs of 5. They smell great. Great to have around the house, your car, everywhere, so you can stay sanitized. It's we're coming out of the coronavirus. You get these. You stay ready. You stay protected. Okay, so moving on. In Florida, you've been talking about. Did you say in the podcast yesterday where you're moving to Austin or not?
No, we haven't talked about it on the podcast yet.
Okay, so you're moving to Austin today, tomorrow?
Texas. As soon as I pack up all of our shit. So probably tomorrow.
So now you've gone live from Florida, and then you'll be going live from Texas.
Actually, our next one I might be in Phoenix. We're stopping in Phoenix first. I have some friends there. We're driving. So we're doing Phoenix first and then going to Austin.
Okay.
And, you know, both of our leases are up. Well, I don't really do leases. I'm going to write a newsletter about this eventually, but
right.
The new lifestyle is like, I don't get why anyone would ever sign a year lease. It's just mind boggling to me. Like, why would you be locked down for a year anywhere? And this is what I've been doing even before Corona. For example, like a couple months before Corona, I lived in Park City, Utah for a couple months during ski season. And it was sick. And I was paying like $1,600 a month, living in this huge 5,000 square foot, 7-bedroom place, like a couple blocks from the slopes. I would ski every day. And I was planning to do my winter there. And then I was going to Bali for 2 months. And I was going to the French countryside for a couple months. Like, I just don't know why. And especially now, because everyone's work is remote besides yours. Pretty much everyone could work remotely.
Yep.
Why would you tie yourself to one location when you can go like experience so much cool shit?
Yeah. I mean, it's a move. I mean, I applaud you. I mean, that's really cool to do. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it, but I don't think a lot of people follow through. So it's cool to see that.
Which is crazy because it's like, it's so fun to go experience shit.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, LA's sick, but like Austin's really sick too. And like, you just don't know what you love until you try everything and get experience. And when else are you going to be able to do that? So
and the biggest thing with travel is like, once you get there, you stay there for a couple of days and then you leave and you're like, I don't think I got to really experience it because I didn't stay long enough. So it's like, this is an opportunity to.
So I'm trying to go month to month, like for the next couple of years. We'll see what my girlfriend thinks about that. But I kind of just want a month to month around places, whether it's Austin, Bali, Japan, you know, France, like wherever, South America. Like, why not go live and you can just kind of work from anywhere?
Yeah, I like it. Well, cool. We'll get updates as you move throughout. I mean, you'll be going live from everywhere, I guess. So
yes, sir. Come for 4th of July in Texas.
I might have to. That's where it goes down.
Oh yeah.
Never been to Texas, so that could be interesting.
Flights from LA to Austin are super cheap, like $60.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in your price range.
that's definitely in my price range. We can do that. We can work that out. Okay, moving on to the other thing. So just funny enough, you said you put out a little thing on group chat for my birthday to have people send stuff in, because nobody here got me a gift. I watch everybody all year long get their happy birthday and their cake at work, and then a global pandemic happens around my birthday, and I don't get a cake, and nobody sings me happy birthday.
Aw.
But lucky for us, the group chat crew comes through. Some really funny stuff.
Yeah, that's what you got.
So the first funny one was the First Call Plumbing Incorporated, from my friend down in Maryland. So Zane Milborn. He sent me this whole package of random stuff. A lot of the stuff I really can't show because it's semi-inappropriate.
No. That's what you have to show.
Did I bring the one thing in here? Oh yeah, I did. Okay.
What can you possibly hold back that's semi-inappropriate?
I mean, this was one of them.
Oh, that's tight. So there's just like tits popping out of a.
Yeah, tits popping out of this is a little coaster here. He sent me a whole like there is so much shit this guy sent me, all for the plumbing stuff. So I'm packed like head to toe with shit. I have a flashlight here. We have tees. Hey, this guy like packed it tight. Of Swiss.
Why did he send you a flashlight?
T-shirts up the who ass. More retractable, more golf shit. And then this really funny one. I forgot to grab it. This might be the greatest one. So if you can imagine these little black boxes, right? If you heat this cup up, they disappear.
And what happens?
What do you think happens?
Oh, I think I know what happens. That's funny.
You know what happens. So he sent me this whole entire package, which was really cool. Thank you very much. And then the other really cool thing was this knitted Frisbee.
Oh, that's pretty tight.
Yeah. So
I've been getting big into Frisbee recently. Frisbee's tight.
Yeah. So Vince sent me one of these and then a smaller one for.
It looks like a yarmulke.
Yeah.
Nice. You're a good Jew now.
But then, so he sent me one, a bigger one, and then a smaller one for D and his son. These are really cool. So Buena Onda Games. I'll put a swipe up to them on our page. But yeah, it's pretty much hand knitted Frisbee. They help a lot of different organizations, and I think it's like 7 different. What is it? Hold on. Oh yeah, 7 different villages. They're supporting 7 different villages economies by making these. So
great.
Big support. Thank you everybody for sending those in. That was pretty cool. I don't know.
That's nice. Anything else, or is that it?
That was it for that. But we do have a giveaway. So we have one more of the group chat university sweatshirts. Not everybody.
People are getting a lot of close up on your lips when you come in like this.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
I think they like it.
No, you might.
Keep single if anyone likes that out there. Are you single or no?
Yeah.
Why do you hesitate on that?
I have no hesitation.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, technically.
Is there someone we should send this to and who will disagree with that?
No, not really.
Did I ask the Costa Brava guys who I should send this to?
Yeah, ask them. They would know better than me.
Right.
Group Chat University, we have one more sweater. All we're going to ask you to do is go ahead and post this. Share it on your story. Give us why your favorite part of it. To share this with more people. We love to get more viewers, get more reach, all the above. Do you have anything else to add?
No, happy to be back.
Happy to be back. Well, we're going to be back on schedule like usual.
Oh, I want to add, I got to go in 2 minutes, but I want to add, we need Rob Dyrdek to roast you.
I know. And a lot of people keep bringing it up. And I said, look, we got to take a break right now. We're back now. I think it's got to be time. Like in another week or two, I think it's got to roll.
Make a public service announcement right now to Rob. So if you say he's not scared to come on.
Come on, Rob. If you're not scared, set up a time. You know where we are. It's not hard to reach us. All you got to do is call into Zoom.
Just call
I've been doing a lot of research too. A lot of fishy things I've been uncovering lately.
No way. You got some dirt on him?
I don't want to disclose too much. I don't want to I want to make him nervous. He should be nervous, but.
Okay. Well, we need drama to send this to him. If he watches, he's one of our viewers. So Rob, if you're watching this,
I feel like he's got a guy that like is like, on the front lines, kind of like watching for stuff like this.
Just thing.
Huh?
Like you can't get anything by him.
No, absolutely not. Okay, so Rob, come on and roast me. Other than that, our sponsor, Costa Brava Cocktails. Head over to CostaBravaCocktails.com. Group chat 10 for 10% off. Get it delivered right to your front door. You don't have to leave the house, even though it's nice now. Or shop around the Southern California area. There are a lot of different spots. You can find it on their website.
Chug it.
Here's to the week.
Peace. Out.